And hello and welcome back to VGOSTRAM, episode 6. And this week we'll be doing Kingdom Hearts 2, as we did not reveal it last week. And I am your host, Cody, or Camlicker.
And I am the co-host. It's Eric, also known as JRF. Our social medias will also be in the description below, as always.
And there's not much to say, we'll just get right into it.
All right, so we chose Kingdom Hearts 2 because it was something we were both familiar with. And it is the best soundtrack as well as game in the series. So we figured, why not?
I agree. So the first song in the order is the Kingdom Hearts 2 version of Dearly Beloved.
Which is probably the best version. It's the most sad sounding. Which kind of makes sense because at this point in the game, it's like everybody is just so far apart from like the main cast. So it's just pretty much Sora, Donald, Goofy are together, but then you have like Kairi on Destiny Island, Riku somewhere else, and then King Mickey somewhere else.
He appears every now and again.
Somehow.
Yeah. It gets explained later, but we don't really talk about that game.
Yeah. I mean, I've written some complaints about the game in the middle of the list because I can't not bring it up.
Anyway, as for the song, yeah, Dearly Beloved. The first one is memorable because it's the first one. But man, the second one just really amped everything up. Like as Eric said earlier, it's just really sad sounding in comparison. And so the first song had like a bounce to it. And this one does not. It's actually played really straight, which I think kind of amplifies the emotion delivered.
Yeah, it really delivers on the emotional spectrum of it. It pretty much hits hard and where it makes you feel like sad. But there's like some hopeful notes played in there.
Yeah. Also, instead of just being piano, they also threw in like a string section, a cello, and a couple more orchestral pieces, which help solidify the song. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. Sadder, better.
Faster, stronger. Which is kind of funny since Daft Punk was recently said they're, was it retiring or they're just disbanding?
I believe it was retiring. Or disbanding. I don't know.
They're not making music together anymore.
Yeah.
Much. But back to the song at hand. Even just listening to the song, it always makes you like a hint of sad. Because, I mean, it's like one of the games I've played over and over as a kid. I mean, outside of the Mega Man series, or maybe even Sonic games, this game specifically is the one I've played the most. Because originally I wasn't a big fan of, but because I played it so many times, I really got to dig in and enjoy it. Okay, I wouldn't say I wasn't a big fan of. I had little gripes, but then I learned how much I liked the changes after a while, once I got used to them.
I'm assuming it has something to do with the drive system.
No, the drive system I liked from the get-go.
Triangle commands.
Triangle commands I liked. The beginning of the game is what I disliked because I wanted to play Sora.
Yep, me too.
I hated Roxas at the beginning, but then like after a while, it's like, no, actually, you know what? I like this because this is an entire section that makes the plot relevant.
Yep, especially if you've played Chain of Memories.
Or 35 Days Over 2.
Didn't that come out way after?
Yeah. But, like, I mean, in retrospect, if you played that game, then it makes even more sense.
That's what you call retrofitting.
Yeah. And then the other thing was the way magic worked. How fire went from being, like, just a straight bullet type of attack to becoming, like, a weird shield. And then Blizzard went from being a shotgun blast to being pretty much your fire in that game. And then Thunder only hitting like one thing instead of like hitting the entire field.
They did actually change a lot with the magic system that I didn't like the whole cure thing, taking your entire bar.
Yeah, they nerfed Cure really hard. But other than that, I mean, I didn't really use the summons either. For me, it's just like anything that slows down combat takes away from me, and so summons did that. So in both games, I didn't like it, and then, I mean, okay, I'm gonna stop there because otherwise it's just gonna go into a why I hate Kingdom Hearts 3 tangent, and we shouldn't get into that.
Maybe we can just spread it out a little more. So how would you write or rate the song?
This song, I would rate it a 9 out of 10.
That's pretty much where I expected you to be. I gave it an 8 personally, but I mean that's still extremely solid.
I mean, for me, it's the piano. Like, it's the Kingdom Hearts piano. Like, there's a very specific sound that they use for anything that's related to the main lore of the game. So whenever they use that piano, it's like it always is like the hard hitting instrument, and then it's the violins.
That shows that Yoko really knows what she's doing. And funnily enough, this is not even the first game where she's actually like the main composer. Like we've talked about her plenty of times already.
Yeah, she's also in a composer for some of the Smash games too, for some of the songs,
And Xenoblade.
and Xenoblade.
All right. Second song, which,
Will be Passion.
and it's kind of controversial between the two fan bases.
Yeah, if you're a weeb or
So personally, I love the Japanese version more.
I honestly don't care. They're the exact same song.
So I originally confused the full song being like swapped with the cut English version, and that's why I originally hated it. And then I realized that I was just being dumb. I was like, you can't compare the two because they're clearly not the same. Yeah, they're fine. I just heard the English or the Japanese version first, way back before YouTube like was a thing.
A weeb.
I'm not sure how that makes me a weeb, but
You're a weeb. You like the Japanese version.
did you know you're playing a Japanese game?
No, it has Disney characters, so it's clearly American.
All right, getting to the point.
I'm also joking for anybody that doesn't understand sarcasm.
This is easily my favorite Kingdom Hearts vocal song, without a doubt.
I personally prefer the first game's opening song.
It's thinking about it from a like compositional standpoint. I think this song definitely repeats way more, but I think that the hook is way stronger than Simple and Clean.
But the first song is simple and clean. It's like no, like seriously, it's a simple song and it's played cleanly.
That is so dumb. And even then, it's not even just Simple and Clean. It's like, Planet B step mix or whatever the hell it's called.
That depends on which
I'm pretty
version
sure
of the
that's
song.
the default English version.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
Because Simple and Clean was just like the base one, and then they reused it in like 3 games or something like that. Because it's in Birth by Sleep, and then like 2 other games, I think.
Also, don't forget that the original song is actually just called Ikari. So I believe Simple and Clean is like the English version.
Yeah.
So they are different.
It's the same thing.
Nah, they're different.
I mean, that depends. Do you think it's completely different for the fact that it's just Japanese lyrics compared to English?
No, I'm pretty sure the song is actually different itself. Like Hikari on its own doesn't have like the electronic elements.
I'll have to listen to that personally to really
I could
know.
be wrong, and also could be like being mislabeled about like what's what. But off the top of my head, that's what I remember.
All right, back to Passion or Sanctuary, whichever one you want to go with. It may not be like the first game's song, but it's definitely good. It's sad that the third game song
It's a
just
huge
is
step
a
down.
huge. let down compared to like the first and second ones. Like whether you liked the English, Japanese version, whichever. The third game's pure garbage compared. It's funny because I listen to my music on the YouTube music app.
Mm-hmm.
Every time that song comes up or like pops up in like my feed, I remove it instantly because I don't want to hear it. I just hate that song.
It's far weaker. Like the melody is kind of strange and not really solid, and then it has the dubstep elements, which was like 6 years too late.
Yeah, it feels out of its time.
It makes sense if that song was recorded in like the early 2010s.
When this game should have come out.
But if it was recorded like as the game was coming out, then there's not really any excuse.
But again, without bagging too much on Kingdom Hearts 3, pretty much the song itself kind of has like an emotional roller coaster to it, just like the game itself, like this specific game. Because all the things you're learning and all the things that you're finding out, as well as all the new things that pop up, it's a constant up and down cycle, which, I mean, as a series as a whole, it tends to work out as well.
The biggest draw for me, I think, is the whole song is just like big like walls of sound surrounding you. There's not like an empty part.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. There's no empty spots. There's no space wasted.
And if you are familiar with Phil Spector, then you would know what that whole thing is about, and also that he's a terrible piece of human garbage.
What?
If you know, you know. Anyway, 10 to 10 for me.
I'd give it an 8.
Still really good.
Yeah, I didn't say it was bad. Now 3's is bad. All right.
We'll stay away from that for now.
Now, we got the third song.
Here's a challenge. If we can make it past one song without talking serious crap about 3, take a shot. You'll stay sober the entire podcast. All right, moving on.
All right, so Lazy Afternoon is our third song of choice. If you actually played this song, actually, I would say for me personally, like if you played this song back when I was in high school and it was summertime, this song would have fit perfectly. Because, I mean, every afternoon was like a lazy feeling of just pretty much doing nothing or watching TV or like on my phone, doing whatever.
I find it kind of funny that you like relate the song as to you just chilling out by yourself and the whole theme is friendship.
Is it?
Yes.
When Roxas is all alone, when everybody is an AI, not even real.
That's a little bit different.
I'm trying to twist this perspective a bit. But yeah, it has that lazy feeling. It's the way the flute is played.
I believe that's an oboe.
I wanted to say oboe, but I wasn't entirely sure.
Or,
Okay, the wind instrument that is being played in the song.
Yeah. Funny thing about that, as I was doing the deep listening, I realized you can hear the player breathe in at the song at 26 seconds.
What the heck?
Yeah, you just hear them take out like deep breath. I love little like audio quirks like that get left in.
Huh.
Like complete side note, but I only realized this semi recently. At the beginning of In the Presence of Enemies Part 2, you could hear Portnoy pick up the sticks.
I'll have to listen to that. Do you have to have like volume insanely high or?
Not really. Just have it like really close to your ear.
Huh.
And apparently also in a Hairline Fracture by Rise Against, during the bridge section, you can hear like a studio chair squeaking.
All right.
Yeah.
Some little musical tidbits that I didn't know.
Oh, and then that last one. That thing Andrew pointed out in About to Crash, where it's like, I don't know what it is, but like as the song is about to like carry on to the chorus, you just hear like a beep beep.
I don't remember that.
I'll have to show you. Yeah. Um, Aside from that, I actually skipped this song over so many times until like this listen through, so I didn't really feel anything for it.
Really?
Yeah, because
Twilight Town has some really good music. It's
I
probably
know
like,
that now.
yeah, it's like the third or arguably second best planet or world, just musically.
I think the reason why I just skipped it over because the association of Roxas. Like I just do not want to be Roxas.
Yeah, I mean, I used to get that, but then now it's like I like the character.
He's fine.
I think playing Ventus in Birth by Sleep helped the anti like Roxas feel or sentiment I used to have.
But yeah, as I guess closer to the theme itself, this song is actually extremely nostalgic, not just for having played it as a kid, but like just sound alone, like really drives home that feeling like you're out with your friends, just chilling, not really doing anything. It's just like it's more about the time you spend together than like what you're actually doing, and it reflects that 100% perfectly.
Unless you're me, then it's all about you.
What?
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't know what you mean by that.
it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, there's not a whole lot going with the song. It's actually kind of a short loop, but
Yeah, it's actually very simple, but it's for it being so simple, it's very enjoyable.
yeah, definite surprise for me. Like coming back and listening to it deeply.
It was actually like one of my picks. I was initially gonna pick because I know this place has good music. But yeah, for me, it's a 7 out of 10.
I actually gave it a 9
Really?
for mostly on the theming itself.
Okay.
And then the next song is Sinister Sundown, which is the battle music for Twilight Town.
That's kind of a yes and no. Because that's the battle music when you're playing as Roxas.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it's yes or no.
Which is vastly inferior to the Sora's version of Twilight Town's battle music.
So this song to me is just okay.
Yeah, it's not great. But I mean, when you compare it to a vast majority of Kingdom Hearts battle music, it just like falls short comparatively. Actually, I do want to note also, on the last song, you're going to have to take a shot because we didn't mention Kingdom Hearts 3 at all.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, for this song and what I realized for a lot of Kingdom Hearts 2 battle music, it tends to be a lot more hollow than I remember it. Like I could have sworn there was a lot more music going on, but I believe that just might be due to like nostalgia bias.
I think a part of the reason you might remember that too is because you're also hearing all the battle sound effects going on as well, which just fills out the wall.
Yeah. So when there's like, it's just mostly hectic fighting, that some of the songs actually do fall a little flatter. So I would actually want to do the same thing with Kingdom Hearts, the first Kingdom Hearts music, to see if it has the same effect.
I imagine so.
But like this song, I felt like it had a lot of open air. Like it could have used a lot more to it because there's a lot more deeper tones and beats.
So this is one of Yoko's like trademark styles, where like she heavily relies on the like oompa rhythm.
The Oompa Loompa?
No, that's a different trademark.
Oh.
But yeah, it's just like the quick like 1-2 like the oompa 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 oompa. She does that a lot in a lot of her stuff. But that's what gives it like kind of like a lighthearted feel, and like not really carefree, but fun maybe.
I guess. I mean, it still sounds a little dark.
We'll get to there. I actually have something written about that somewhere later down the line. But yeah, I'd give it a 5 out of 10.
I give it a 6 out of 10.
It's very okay.
Yeah, it's all right. Not great, but it's all right. All right. What is this? Song number 6?
Yeah, 5.
5. Because I didn't number them this week. So, song number 5, Tension Rising. One of the best songs in the game. It's when anything Organization 13 related happens, which starts off in Twilight Town. Yeah, I have a huge love for like battle themes, and this one just like hits everything for me. Like it's got the huge sense of like urgency and like something bad is going on, and it has a lot of energy to it. Like there's no boring parts, or like there's no boring sections. And for me, this song specifically is why I miss Nobodies as an enemy, because they had like the best music in the game. Like they were just a one-off enemy, and it's just like kind of a little disheartening because of the fact that you give them all these good or cool styles of music, and then that's it. They're just no longer in the game after 2.
I remember them just being like a real annoyance to fight because you can't like, well, at least at the beginning, like you can't kill them just hitting them.
That's because they're weak to magic.
Which I don't think you even have magic that early in the game.
Well, in the early parts of the game, no, but like
it's like you can only kill them with triangle commands.
It depends on which one. If it's the one that's like a shark, that's the one you have to kill usually with triangle commands. Each and every one of them is killable after without needing triangle commands.
Or was it just the Keyblade you needed? I might be thinking about something else. Anyway, so yeah, this song is like, the first song in the game where things just start getting real. It is hectic, dissonant, and again, it's another classic Kingdom Hearts song. Like
yeah, it has the Kingdom Hearts like sound to it.
So one of my biggest notes about this song is that it's very rare to hear a organ to have like that kind of delay. So it's like really trippy. And yeah, of course, it's got the Kingdom Hearts piano sound, as Eric was mentioning earlier. It's like if you hear the real like acoustic piano, then that means there's like something plot heavy. And if it's MIDI, then it's just a filler.
Yeah, but usually if it has to deal with the nobodies, at least in this game, it was always gonna be something important, like story related.
I don't really have anything to really say about it.
You know what I really thought of
covered
just
most
now?
of it. What?
Yeah, well, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, but so it's weird, like if you compare and contrast, like the way nobodies are compared to Heartless. So Heartless are like more stronger people that have lost their souls or lost their heart, but it's just like the remains of them. And then unless they're like an Organization 13 member, that their physical body is because they were like extremely powerful. All the nobodies, they seemed intelligent. If you think about like the Heartless, they seem just like brainless monsters. So like just comparing them, one seemed more intelligent, one just seemed just instinctive.
I never thought about that, and you're right.
Which kind of doesn't make sense, because if you're thinking of the Husk would have less sentience compared to the heart-based enemy.
Well, they did say that they're heartless, not brainless.
I mean, they're heartless and brainless.
But I mean, transfer what I just said to the nobodies.
Yeah. They're nobodies.
They keep the brain.
I guess.
There's your
justification. They don't keep memories of who they were, though.
I'm not Tetsuya Nomura.
I'm just hitting all these plot points. Contradicting this. This game sucks now.
Take 3 shots. Do or don't, it's your call.
Yeah. If you're non-alcoholic, just drink water.
But yeah, I don't have anything to add. So I give it a 7 just because it's
I gave it a 10.
integral. That's pretty high.
Yeah, because it's the best song in the game.
That is highly debatable. Highly debatable.
Okay, it's not the best, but it's real. It's like top 2, top 3 for me. All right, now this is number 6, Kyrie's theme, which is probably like the best theme in the series.
No. That goes to Tara.
I don't remember his theme.
We just reviewed it last week.
Doesn't mean I remember it.
But this song is actually a kind of downgrade in a sense from the first 3 or from the first game.
I was gonna say first 3. This isn't the first 3.
There were 3 songs. She had 3 variations in the first game.
One of them was like a songbox kind of version, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the third one, I think. But I'll only say downgrade, like instrumentally and like compositionally, it's a little more complex, but they opted out of using like a real guitar and now it's MIDI. And then they threw in like a weirdly delayed hammered dulcimer.
I don't know what that is, but all right.
It's a side grade. I'll just say that. It's a side grade. You took some, you gave more. Or some. Equal. But if you compare them, I like this version definitely a lot more because it's fuller.
Yeah,
Like,
has
there's
a
more
lot more
going
to
on
it.
to it, and it's louder too.
It also has kind of like a duality sense. Like there's like some sadness in it, and then certain instruments make it happier. So like the flute makes it more serene and peaceful, or just like happier. But when you go with the piano, it's sadder.
It's not a flute. Oh wait,
Do you hear it now?
that's a flute. I don't know what that first one was.
That was a violin.
There's no way that was a violin.
Pretty sure it's a violin. It's a strings instrument.
It's 2003 or no, 2004. So I can forgive the MIDI quality. No, that's definitely got to be some kind of like wood or reed. Anyway, this is another nostalgic song, and it's also kind of melancholic, which makes sense for this whole series.
I would say this game specifically. Well, I mean, yeah, the whole series is, as a whole, supposed to be kind of sad. Even though, you're playing as kids trying to save the world. Or worlds.
Multiverses,
Would you really call it a multiverse?
kind of.
I mean, because it's multiple different worlds that used to be one world that got broken up.
Isn't there that like whole timey-wimey thing with the Xemnas?
No. Well, yes and no. So, for people that are more smarter about Kingdom Hearts, they can leave their full descriptions in the comments. But from my understanding of it, it's pretty much all the worlds used to be one big world, but because people were being corrupted and being evil and whatnot, like it was corrupting the world, so they broke the world in multiple small worlds to avoid like the Heartless coming over and like swallowing that one big world as a whole. So then that's when it kind of like goes into like the whole Keyblade wielder kind of thing. And what is the dude's name? He's like a watcher. Like he has this, like, it's I'm trying to remember the Keyblade's name, but I can't remember it. I think it's like No Name or something like that. But it's Xehanort's Keyblade that he has, but it's also used by a specific character in not only the movie OVA thing, but as well as like the mobile game.
Is that the guy who Zigbar is?
At the end, yes, but no. Yeah, it's like a yes and no. Like it's Zigbar, but it's not really Zigbar. He's like, I think he's called like the Master or something.
For frame of reference, I've only played 1 through 3, Chain of Memories, and That might actually be it.
Yeah, there's a lot more
There's
lore.
too much.
There's a lot that kind of gets lost if you don't really pay attention to it.
Oh wait, and I played like 2 months worth of Union Cross,
Which one's that one?
the mobile game.
Oh, I played it like a week.
Yeah, remember I was oh wait, I don't think I ever told you about it, but I was one of the admins of like a big guild.
Huh. Okay. But yeah, I think if you participated in like the last event they had, that your name appears at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3.
That whole like thing,
That
made
whole
me kinda
section?
sad.
Okay, so here's the thing about Kingdom Hearts 3. So you get to avoid taking a shot. The last maybe 20% of the game is probably the best part of it.
Even if it got a little bit too ridiculous.
Yeah, it got like, I want to say like beyond like even Dragon Ball Z ridiculous. I want to say it was just like Gurren Lagann levels of ridiculousness, where it's like the power amping just like came out of nowhere.
And not only that, you just had so many characters like coming and going. It's like, oh yeah, all the main characters got saved, and now they have the upper hand because reasons.
Yeah, it's like nothing bad happens. It's like you remember all those repercussions? They don't exist. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter that you and your entire party got wiped out. Here's a respawn with all your memories.
Yeah, you just need to collect yourself in this space where it's only yourself and a little Moogle looking thing. It's a cat.
Like Chihirathi or something.
I don't remember. It's in the mobile game.
Yeah, that thing.
But I will say, that moment where it had all the people's names from the mobile game, that was awesome.
Yeah, that moment made me actually really sad, realizing that I missed out on that.
Yeah, it made me wish like I actually did it like in the long con. Be like, oh, it would have been cool to see my name as one of the characters. But I don't know if that was like only like the top percent, like
No,
the whales.
I remember reading into it, and it was something like, if you finished like the main story,
Okay.
or like you complete the event, like in the final boss fight or whatever.
Huh. That's pretty cool. Yeah, wish I did it. But you know, hindsight is 2020.
As it goes.
Anyways, for Kyrie's theme, I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
That was a crazy tangent.
It really was.
But I give it a 6. Still good. It's not great, but it's good. And moving on to the
13th
next song,
struggle.
the 13th Struggle.
The 13th struggle is real.
So this is the general battle theme for Organization 13.
I would like to preface this that I don't hate the song. I hate the fights that the song is incorporated in. Because the fights are like the most difficult of the series, I would say. But it's like fun in a way.
I don't remember which one specifically it is.
What do you mean? It's just like Organization 13's battle music.
Not
Like,
everyone.
I know it's, what's that dude's name? So it's the dude with the lance, the absurd amount of lances. The dude that gambles. So Zaldin, I can't remember that dude's name, and I want to say Syax and Axel's.
Isn't that at the end of the game?
No, Axel's. It's used during Axel's battle theme.
I meant like Sykes.
Yeah, Syax is at the end of the game.
I think
But-
that's a different song.
I'm pretty sure it's this one.
I remember seeing like comments saying like what songs play on what.
But I'm pretty sure this song was used for like the actual bosses.
We'll get there when we get there.
Because Zemnis has a completely different theme.
But anyway, there's this song, like the way it sounds overall is kind of whatever. But I think what helps save this song is the motifs. Like, I don't know if you've paid attention, but like this part playing right now, like in the second half, is the motif to Graceful Assassin, Scythe the Petals, which is Marluxia and I don't remember someone else. Whoever was it, Larxene?
So Marluxia is Graceful Assassin. I think, yeah, Larxene is the other one.
Yeah, which those came from Chain of Memories.
Kind of sucks that you can't fight all the... Well,
You do in 3.
It did suck that you couldn't fight all of them in the same game, but in Final Mix Plus, you can fight all of them, which we finally got in the West, like, what was it, like 5 years ago?
Is it that old already?
Well, Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, like, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, January 2019.
Yeah, so they were, like, steadily releasing each one. So maybe it was, like, maybe four years ago.
I have it. Of course.
So do I.
I have it, but I've never played it.
I could have sworn you played it.
I tried going through 1, then I realized it was 1.
I went through 1. In retrospect, it's a really, really bad game when you don't have triangle commands. Because it was such a quality of life change that it's like, when you have to do like specific things manually, it just hurts.
Yeah.
It's a crutch. It's a crutch. It's not that the game is bad. It's just like they gave you a crutch and now you can't walk without it.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to make another playthrough of 2.
I need to actually play through the games because I got the complete edition, which comes with like 1 Chain of Memories, well actually 1.5 Chain of Memories, 358 over 2 Birth by Sleep, and
2.8.
Yeah, I think there's one more. There's like the other movie one.
I think it comes with the actual movie.
Whatever it is, I have it. And I need to get through it. Song, though, yeah, it's good. I don't really care for the sound overall, but I love how it uses the motifs.
I honestly actually like it. It's very chaotic. It's like all over the place. And has this like weird erratic sound to it in the back. So I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
It's kind of funny, even though I said that I don't like it a lot, I still gave it a 7.
Yeah, I figured you would have given it like a 5 or 6.
The motifs do save it. But moving on.
All right. The next song, we're going on to Roxas's theme, which is actually really good.
I just want to say the opening line I wrote is, it's a sad song for a sad character.
It's incredibly sad. It's probably one of the most emotional songs in the game. Maybe even the series, but of course I would have to hear every song again. But at least for this game, it's very depressing. Especially like one of the last times it's played.
It's okay. He comes back in the 3rd game.
Yeah, he becomes his own thing, which nobody even like really wanted. Nobody asked for it. And then they're like, "Oh, we're looking for Roxas." Roxas, you are Roxas.
This reminds me. I remember bringing it up to you when like it came out and we were playing through it. But I don't remember if I got a confirmation or not, whether it was an old thing or not. Roxas in Kingdom Hearts 3 has a really noticeable lisp, and I feel like it was not there in the 2nd game.
I don't think he had a lisp. Because
In the 3rd game he does.
Does Ventus have a lisp?
I don't think he does.
Because they're voiced by the same person.
I know.
They probably did that just to differentiate between the two. But I don't remember him having a lisp at all in 3.
I do.
I don't want to play the 3rd game just to find out, Cody.
I don't blame you. That's what YouTube is for.
I might make another playthrough of it just to do the DLC stuff. Because the DLC stuff you play as everybody else.
I heard even the DLC is not that great.
Yeah, the DLC doesn't add much from what I heard. It's like it's pretty much more padding for the ending, which the ending didn't really need. Because people just want to know what happens. Like, I think people just want the cycle to end. Just like, let's finish the story.
But money.
I don't know. Like when you have no major bad guys, like all the major conflicts are pretty much wrapped up. Except where's Sora? That's like that's the only thing left.
Was the ending of 3 like the whole? I forgot his name, but it's like the something Rex.
Yeah.
Was that for DLC or was that for the 4? Supposedly.
Well, originally it was going to be planned as DLC, but I think because they want to stretch it out more, they're going to make it as 4.
Of course. See, money.
Well, because there's like, so if you remember the Toy Story level, there's a character that looks like Riku / Noxus. That's Riku. That's like legitimately Riku. And so that game happens, I think, before Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, isn't it like Verum Rex?
Yeah, Verum Rex or some stupid thing like that. But pretty much it's Riku. Supposedly, like before, I might be wrong on this. So, any clarification in the comments would be much appreciated.
Even if you are wrong about this feels completely believable by Kingdom Hearts standards.
So, pretty much, it's Riku before the games, or before the third game, and then Sora is in the after part of that. So, like, he's in it afterwards. So, supposedly, in the Verum Rex thing, you're supposed to play as Riku before the game, or before 3, and then you have to go back.
Yep, that's Kingdom Hearts, all right.
Yeah, so it's like this weird time loop thing. And I wish games would avoid time, because time is very slippery. Like if nothing's consistent, or like you don't know how to tie up loose ends when it comes to time, which is surprising because they did Chrono Trigger. They did Chrono Trigger correctly.
I will say in Chrono Trigger's defense that the whole game was based around time to begin with. It wasn't an afterthought.
But if you're going to incorporate time, make sure you tie up your loose ends. And they don't do that. Not even in the slightest.
Yeah, that's pretty much an impossible task.
We got really far away from this song.
You know what that counts?
Has a shot?
Yep.
Does it count?
We pretty much just, knocked 3 for the whole Verum Rex thing.
I thought it was a shot if we don't talk about it.
Oh, wait. You're right. Stay sober.
But yeah.
Well, Roxas, the song.
Roxas, good song. Emotional. Sad. 9 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Now, the next song is Working Together. I'm sure Eric has a lot to say about this one.
Third best song in the game. Hands down.
Very debatable.
Oh, dude, I freaking... Okay, top 5. Top 5 for sure. All right.
Oh, this is another example of the Oompa rhythm.
Yeah, but this Oompa is Loompa. Like,
that was the worst joke I might have ever heard.
No, you've heard worse. So, this is a battle theme. A battle theme sounding this ridiculously happy is amazing. Like, it's just filled. It's like... All right, I don't personally enjoy Oreos, but I'm going to use this Oreo reference. It's like you have an Oreo cookie, but it's filled to the max. Like, it's like extra filled. Like it's,
yeah, they call that double stuffed.
No, this is triple stuffed.
Overstuffed.
I don't think there is a thing as overstuffed. But anyways, it's like getting your Oreo cookie and getting a lot of the stuffing, the cream, the flavorful part of the Oreo, which I'm assuming everybody eats it for, not for the actual chocolate part.
The chocolate, not chocolate part.
But yeah, like that, the happiness is the little gooey center of it all. It just like mixes it all together.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Now, I am going to destroy your hopes and dreams. I don't hate this song.
You don't hate this song?
I'm going to preface that. But there's one thing that bugs me to no end is that when the song like kicks in, like the melody comes up, it just sounds so much like the Flintstones main theme.
I need you to start the song over.
It's just this melody right here. It's the intervals.
It doesn't sound like it.
It's just the intervals. Like obviously it's not blatant.
Yeah, I know the Flintstones theme. And it's not that.
If you can hear it, let me know.
Settled to this debate. Is it Flintstones or is it not Flintstones?
It's reminiscent of the Flintstones main theme.
Pretty sure Square Enix doesn't watch Flintstones or eat Flintstones vitamins.
Yeah, probably not. But musical coincidences are everywhere.
Hit the like button if you've had Flintstones vitamins.
And if you haven't, still hit it anyway.
No, only if you had Flintstone vitamins. This is a little off topic, but because me, my brother, and my sister grew up at a very similar age group, or not really similar. Like we're staggered a bit, like usually about 4 to 6 years between each child. Obviously, the oldest kind of dictated everything. The middle one just kind of had his own things, and then as the last child, I was kind of screwed over.
Yeah.
So with Flintstones vitamins, my sister liked the purple ones. It's the best flavor. And then it would go red, and then orange sucked.
You got orange.
I got orange. Until there was a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to eat the orange. I'm going to eat the purple. And I'm going to eat the red too. And my sister got mad and she hit me.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
My brother didn't care. He liked the red one, so he didn't really care.
Going back to the song, I don't know if you've noticed, but in the second half of it, they reprise the Dearly Beloved motif, but really fast.
Do they?
Yeah, I'll play it back. Listen.
That part?
Yep.
I don't hear it.
It's really fast, and because it's so different, you have to really listen to the notes.
I could kind of hear it, but at the same time, no.
Because it's this game and it's this composer, I'm sure it's 100% intentional.
Probably.
But yeah, this song is whatever to me.
I like it.
I give
The
it a
fact
5.
that it's for Sora, the most upbeat character in the series, it works out. 9 out of 10.
Flintstones.
What was yours?
5.
Really?
Yeah. It's not 4. It's not actively bad. I can see Eric contemplating his life right now.
No, I'm contemplating whether I should choke you or not.
I can see Eric contemplating my life right now.
It's like, is his life more important than me going to jail? Unless nobody can find the body.
Good luck.
All right, Magical Mystery.
Tour. Yen Sid's theme.
You know what's funny? When I was writing the notes for the song, I've barely figured out why his name was Yen Sid.
You didn't hear all those comments on the internet in general, the past 15 years?
Nope.
Bro.
I know, I managed to avoid them all.
Bro.
So, pretty much.
Okay. Before he says anything, Yen Sid. Read it backwards.
It's Disney.
I can't believe you.
I'm like, why is Wizard Dude always important? He's in the I always do him as the Fantasia guy. That's what I saw him in. He's only in that, and that's it. And then he's always angry looking. Dude look like he never got a good night's of sleep in his life. Anyways, I was on the shuttle to work when I heard this. And I'm like, man, what is the dude's name? I want to remember it. I'm like, oh, it's Yen Sid. I'm like, as I was typing it out, I read it backwards. And I'm like, oh my God. His name is Disney.
You might possibly have the Guinness World Record for being a fan of the series as long as you have without realizing that.
Oh, man. It was great. It was great. It was like the biggest epiphany that I wanted to like scream out, be like, I figured out. I finally got it. Of course, I'm on a shuttle and I don't want to make it weird. Anyways.
You being there makes it weird.
It's weird. So this song is like used for the tower, but it's also used for like anytime there's like sinister or foreboding moments in the series, or like when there's flashbacks, pretty much. And Yensid is like talking about you need to find the power. What was the thing that Sora needed to find, but he had it with him the entire time?
I don't remember. Let's just call it courage.
No, it wasn't courage. It was something
He's a lion.
stupid. No, because it's one of those like, you go on this journey and you had it all along, even though you've went on this journey like 2 times before. Actually, no, 3 times because Chain of Memories. Anyways, people don't take a shot this time.
So yeah, the song is creepy. It's dissonant. Maybe a little too dissonant. It actually reminds me of Mount Moon from Pokemon.
Which version of Mount Moon?
The original.
Oh, yeah, I get that. I give this one a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's not very much to really write about besides like what it's used for and like how evil and dark it sounds.
Yeah, the loop is really, really short. There's not like much to really talk about other than just it's creepy, sinister,
It's creepy and spooky.
Disney.
Yensid.
I gave it a 5 out of 10.
All right. Now we'll be going to Reviving Hollow Bastion, also known as Radiant Garden.
So I originally had this song picked, and then I took it off my list because I realized outside of the intro, it's literally just Hollow Bastion.
I felt it was different enough.
But after like digging deeper into it, it is slightly different enough. Like obviously the intro is, I don't really think you can say happier, but it's like lighter, like not as
because
drastic.
it's radiant.
Shut up. And the actual like Hollow Bastion part is slower, kind of noticeably. And they changed some sounds out. Like they got a different choir sample. And then what else? I don't remember, but they're just barely changed stuff like about it. Oh, the cello. I think that's it. It's slower, has a different choir and a cello.
If you took it over a cello, you got a bass.
That being said, it's still a great song because it's Hollow Bastion.
Yeah, it's pretty much Hollow Bastion at the core of it, which I think is perfect enough for it as to why I gave it a ranking of 8. It's pretty much a lesser version of the original Hollow Bastion, which I think the original Hollow Bastion is much better. But this one's different enough from the original song and has like enough updates to it or differences to where I still like it and also holds up pretty well.
You know, I actually prefer this song over the original.
Really?
I think just because of the intro. But just for the sake that it's more or less just reused, I gave it an 8 instead of a 9.
I already gave it an 8.
Oh. I'm like, what are you looking at me like that for?
Because I thought you were waiting for me to say something.
I was.
But I already said it.
Well, anyway, next song.
Another iconic song.
Organization
The
X111 or III.
It'd be 1-1. Be a lot of ones.
13.
I like how slow it is.
That whole like slowness kind of adds to the effect of like, these people are evil to the point of the game that you are.
Yeah. And of course, I would say this is more so like Zemnis's theme. Or Xehanort.
I mean, it makes sense. The song is
Did you
convincing.
write
What?
down or did you think of him more as Zemnis, or did you think of him more as Xehanort?
Zemnis.
Because I don't even want to say it's because of 3, but because of 3 that they always called him Xehanort. It's heartless or nobody. That is like it's stuck. I also think this version of Xehanort, like the nobody version compared to his heartless, which went by as Ansem, I prefer Xehanort. Like as a final boss, like he seems much more threatening of a character.
That makes sense. I think I just have like more exposure to the name Zemnis at this point. But they're all one and the same.
Pretty much.
It's like if you want to figure out his true identity, you have to go Pepe Sylvia.
You gotta go like play 3D dimensional chess.
Song
Anyways.
though, it definitely fits the theme of Organization 13. It's like really foreboding and dark.
Just the slow piano like play gives me chills whenever hearing it. It's just like it's I don't want to say penultimate of like bad guy music, but it's like the epitome of what a bad guy song should be.
Epitome.
Epitome.
There is not much more to say about it from my end. So I would give it 7.
I gave it a 9. Like I said, it's the epitome.
And now the next song is Waltz of the Damned.
This one was used in Beast Castle, right?
Yep.
All right, because I had to double check.
I love this song so much.
It's actually played like a waltz, right?
Yep, it's 3/4. I honestly don't think it can be a waltz if it is not in 3/4.
So are all 3/4s a waltz?
No, it's just that all waltzes are 3/4. Kind of like, all crows are birds, but not all birds are crows. But anyway, yeah, it's a 3/4 waltz. That's it. Now, it's a great song just overall because like usually when you hear a waltz, it's like kind of hammy, if that makes any sense, because it's just the nature of a dance. But I think the reason I think this song stands out more is because it's a dark waltz, and aside from being edgy, it's just a really rare combination.
I mean, it works for being in Beast Castle. Because, I mean, he's not very happy character.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, there's really not much really emotional side for this song. I mean, besides it being just references dark. Pretty much it's more of a musical standpoint. You could really dissect the song a little bit more.
And because of that, usually with the waltz, it's not as complex, but for a waltz, I think this song is a little too complex to be used as an actual dance song.
I think you use it. Because you have to do it based off the beats of the drums, right? Not particularly to like the rest of the music.
Well, it's the beat itself is actually pretty fast. And also the beat is like the general, beat. This would be the feel.
For anybody not able to see, pretty much looks like he's cutting off his arm while counting the beat.
It's fast. That's pretty much all we got. And also the instruments are really mellow for like what type of song it is.
I actually forgot to score this one.
Well, pull it out.
6.
That's fair. I gave it a 7.
Oh, we got the Underworld.
This song is extremely complex.
I dislike the level so much, but I like the music.
So when I first was digging around for the songs to pick, I just came across this and immediately noticed something felt really off. And then I realized that the form is jank. So I don't remember if we talked about Hey Ya by Outkast on this podcast or not,
No, I don't think so.
but this song is pretty much a case of that, where
Oh, you're talking about because I sent you that one TikTok where
Yeah.
it was like the weird counting.
so the song is I don't remember. I think it was like 2 bars of 6, 1 bar of 8, and then 2 more bars of 6 is like one phrase. And then I don't remember off the top of my head, but people think that Heya is in like what was it, like 23/8 or something,
Yeah, it's something like really dumb sounding.
22/8, which is not. It's just the same case of it's like 2 bars of 8, and a bar of 6, and like 3 bars of 8 or something like that. Yeah, this song is needlessly complex, and I like it because I like prog. And yeah, I agree with the level thing. Level sucks, but song's cool.
I like how it matches that you're supposed to be sneaking around the underworld. I mean, obviously you're not really sneaking because you're fighting Heartless everywhere.
And just that James Woods knows.
But it gives off the feeling of you're like sneaking around in the underworld practically. What was the whole point of being in there?
Wasn't it like Hercules was weak or something?
Yeah, something like you had to save.
Megara.
Yeah, like you have to save her. And then you're also like somewhat saving Auron.
I think he was a byproduct.
Yeah. I think it was cool they put him in that game. I mean, of course, this is retrospect because I didn't play 10 until way after playing this game.
I did play 10 before playing this game, and it was cool.
Hashtag listen to my story.
Yeah, I like the song. It's cool.
Yeah. The strings really hit home the sneaky sound.
That's a phrase. But I know what you mean.
Yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10.
Loop is really too short, unfortunately, but it's still a good song. I give it a 6.5. All right, and the next song is going to be Rowdy Rumble.
I like that this is Pete's battle theme.
I remember someone else's too, but yeah, it's primarily Pete.
You know what's funny? I'm glad he wasn't in the first round of villains because they all practically died. But getting to hear Pete being a bumbling idiot throughout the entire game, and at least him being relevant in the second game compared to the third.
Stay sober, friends.
Hey man, I just want to know why they were looking for a box the entire time, and they're like, oh, they found the box. We're just gonna leave it.
Yeah, you're right. That plot line was so dumb.
It was like Star Wars Episode 8. It's like, we need to get off the ship so we can find Rey. Oh, well, we can't find Rey. We need to escape the First Order because we got caught by them because we're idiots. And then Rey saves us in the end. It's like...
Yeah, it's just bad writing all
it's
around.
really bad writing. It's annoying.
Yeah, like, I could be wrong, but just going off sound-wise, I feel like this song was actually written in Kingdom Hearts 1 time.
I can hear it. It's also... Yeah, because it sounds similar to, like, Neverland. So it's possible it could have been leftover music.
That would be my guess.
Hey, he came out with a banger song, though. What?
Oh, I don't know why I heard that different or wrong.
What'd you hear?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's move on. So yeah, this song is actually a great example of what we were kind of talking about earlier. It's like it's a playful song, but it's actually dark, which is really hard to do if you think about it.
Well, the first time I think you technically hear this is in the underworld when you fight him, which is funny because like he throws out like Heartless and stuff, and then like he does some ground pounds.
I'm just saying that it is actually a playful sounding song, but it is dark at the same time. You got anything?
No, I mean I would say it's fitting for him because it's very it's a weird, like it's a serious, non-serious boss song.
Yeah.
Like for him as a character, he's not very serious. And luckily you don't kill him.
Luckily.
I like Pete.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. He needs to be comedic relief,
Yeah.
and then they went in a 180 with Kingdom Hearts 3 for some reason.
Yeah, let's make these characters completely plot irrelevant, but we still want them on screen.
They almost became like Jesse and James.
No, there's worse than Jesse and James. Jesse and James at least show up in the episode and like mess with people. They were just pretty much in the background, like being dark and mysterious. We're doing this thing because we're dark and mysterious. We're looking for this dark and mysterious thing. We found the dark and mysterious thing. We're just gonna not look for it anymore. It's out of our hands. We're just gonna leave things be. It's like for villains, they're pretty disappointing.
Yeah, I have no idea where they're going with that.
I don't know. I felt like that game's writing was all over the place in terms of they wanted to do certain stuff, but then they just backed out of it. Like they just couldn't figure out what they wanted to do.
Which is kind of weird considering how much time they had to write that game.
Literal years.
Over a decade, in fact. Almost a decade and a half.
I think they were more concerned writing all the background stuff to be figured out, and then when it came to figuring it all out, it was like they just like threw the basket away that had all the answers and like all the perfect writing. Because like every other game until 3 was fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Considering my giant gap.
Oh, you didn't play Dream Drop Distance, did you?
Nope.
That was a good one. It was unique.
But, yeah, the song, I gave it a 6.
I gave it a 7.
Moving on. So now we have I could call it a personal favorite, but it's like really up there in terms of how I like it. We're at Knights of the Cursed.
I honestly don't really care for this song. Out of all the songs you could have chosen, you chose the one that's like the most generic.
I'm sure there are far worse songs I could have chosen.
I mean, at least in terms of like the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff.
I can't pick the main theme.
I know. I mean, you could.
The rules for this podcast specifically was to avoid picking any Disney original songs.
But it was a battle version.
It doesn't matter. It's still the main theme.
Different.
Yeah, so today we'll be reviewing Disney music.
It would just be one song.
Point is, no Disney originals. I like the song because of the atmosphere that it plays to, which is creepy zombie skeleton men.
Yeah, surprisingly, they used like a really dark series to be put in for Kingdom Hearts.
And then they did the weird white crab thing in the next one.
The what?
The white crab.
White crab. Oh, you're talking about when they did they literally wrapped up the Davy Jones part of Pirates, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. Like they just jumped straight into that. Like, so, all right, this is another tangent. We might as well just relabel this the Kingdom Hearts 2 OST review and hating on Kingdom Hearts 3. So
And more.
and more. Man, I might as well just make a podcast where we just rip on games, like the good and the bad.
I mean, if you want to. That's going to be on you, though.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, big gripe for Kingdom Hearts 3 is you pretty much play the exact movie for each game. It's not even playing around movie elements. They like pretty much heavily just take from the movies.
You like Tangled? Here's Tangled. You like Frozen? Here's Frozen. You like Pirates of the Caribbean? Whichever one. Here's that.
Despite Frozen being the worst level, it was the most unique from the movie.
You know what? You're right. What was I thinking of?
Because Monsters, Inc. would also be less close to the movie. But yeah, Tangled is pretty much the movie. Pirates of the Caribbean is essentially the movie. Toy Story is really unique. There's another one. I know there's another couple games.
Wait, no,
Hercules.
wasn't Frozen exactly the movie?
No. I mean, it had the same issues that she had in the first movie, but it was different because they were Square was forced to change the way that world worked and who the final boss would be, because the first iteration of it, you were supposed to fight Elsa. But because they were making the second movie and it was supposed to come out like around the same time the game was going to come out, that they didn't want Elsa being the bad guy.
I never
So
understood
they told
that
him,
kind of stuff.
let go of the original story
ha.
and make a new one.
Yeah, going back to the song. So yeah, like theming wise, I think it fits perfectly. It's definitely dark and creepy.
Yeah, it's dark, creepy. It's fitting for like a pirate.
I don't know if
themed
I would
guy.
say it's pirate specifically, but the setting that the pirate is on the island, like it's dark night jungle. Kind
Well,
of
not
feel.
only that, then it's also played at the harbor.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Well, technically, it's played for literally the entire level, no matter where you're at.
and it's night. That's the important part. But again, the loop is way too short, which I'm sensing a common occurrence with this game.
What, that they're just shorting like the general themes?
Yeah,
Is that a recent revelation, or was that just from when your initial listening of it?
just like the re-listen. It's like a lot of these loops are under a minute.
Yeah, there's really not much I could really bring out for this song. I gave it a 6.
I actually gave it a 6 too.
You made it sound like you liked it a lot more.
That's why I said, like, I can't say I consider it like a top song, but it's still like up there. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a 7 because I really do like the overall sound of it.
All right. Now we got the Corrupted. I lost count of which song we're on.
17.
Okay, this is one of the songs where I thought had a lot more going on through it, where it's actually a lot emptier. So I'm like, oh, I know this song. I'm going to like it. It's all right. It's not bad. But man, I really overthought like how much that was going on in the song.
Nostalgia is crazy. And then, of course, the whole like battle thing too.
Yeah, the all the battle sounds really fill out the rest of the soundtrack, but I was sad re-listening to this one. But anyways, for the song itself, it has that very reminiscent sounding theme of the first games, like Evil Heartless.
Shrouding Dark Cloud.
Do you actually remember that one by name?
Yep. Because I had that same exact thought. I'm like, this is literally like a take on that song.
Which I think that song is better.
I consider it a side grade.
It might be nostalgia,
Probably.
but I feel like that one is more full. But I would have to go back and listen.
I guarantee you, you're gonna run into the same problem.
I actually like thought this soundtrack was gonna be like Xenoblade, where it's like it's gonna be nothing but bangers, like straight bangers every song. I'm like, dang, this is really disappointing. Like I'm really misremembering these.
And nostalgia blindness is real. But the song is still good.
Because I at least tried to be a little unbiased, but there's still like the hint of bias that kind of can't get over.
A hint of bias the size of a mountain.
Hey, man.
Well, yeah, noting that it's essentially Shrouding Dark Cloud's like replacement theme. I think it does perfectly fine for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a battle theme.
Like it's even got like the same makings of like, you know, it's got the sharp staccato brass. And then it's got like the like rhythmic piano. And then the organ.
I will say I remember more songs that or more bosses with this theme than I do with the last one, or than the first games. Outside of Reverse Armor and the two secret bosses on Neverland and
Agrabah.
Agrabah. I can't remember any other bosses with this theme or with the
Original.
Heartless main theme or boss theme, whichever you want to call it.
Yeah, there's a few like shared songs here and there, but it's good. Actually, it's pretty good. So I give it an 8.
I gave it a 7
It's still close.
because I felt like it could just use a little bit more to fill it out a bit, but I know why it's like that.
So this next song is really weird. It's Hazardous Highway.
I think I picked this one, right?
No, well, this is the one that you.
Oh, we shared?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Kingdom Hearts, but speed metal.
yeah. So I want to let it be known I hate anything to do with the Gumi ships. I hate building them. I hate playing the levels, except for the last level that you have to do for Kingdom Hearts 2. That is the most hype level, and I felt like every level should have been on that level instead of just being open nothingness. And the fact that Heartless have spaceships is weird to me.
I mean, yeah, that doesn't make sense. I don't even know why they had to go with a gummy ship to begin with. Like, I felt like it's
lore
kind
reasons?
of no. Well, I don't know. It just kind of felt unnecessary, like gameplay to me.
Yeah, it felt like it was like filler gameplay. And then ever since they just stuck with it.
But yeah, like every gummy mission, it's like a big annoyance. And this final one was actually good, and the music helps it.
Oh yeah, it's great. I loved it. It's like you said, it's speed metal. I mean, I am a metalhead, so it's great. It's like on a hype level for a hype. It's on a hype level for a hype level, which is kind of weird to say.
I can see why you got confused. So this song actually reminds me of like a blend of like Sonic Adventure 2 and Zillia.
Yeah, I can hear it. It's just it makes everything feel insane.
And I'm actually not a speed metal guy, but it's fine. It definitely works because of what it is.
Speed metal's cool, but I mean, it has its time and place, and for something like this, it fits perfectly fine.
I actually have this on my possibility list for my covers. So maybe it'll come out someday.
I'll look forward to it. So I want to hear your rendition of it.
It's usually, hopefully, as close as I can get to the original sound. But the one thing I do not like about this song, and it's not really a fault of the song itself, it's just kind of the era, is that the mixing is really muddy.
Yeah, it could definitely be better.
But it's a 7.
I give it an 8.
Still relatively around the same area.
It's in the same ballpark. Now we got Sinister Shadow. I honestly don't remember where it plays. I want to say with World That Never Was.
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this is another one of the Heartless mini boss theme, or not mini boss, like stage theme.
I want to say it plays like in the
Beast
World That
Castle,
Never. The what?
Beast Castle, like the chandelier boss.
I don't think it's the Chandelier boss.
I'm pretty sure it's like on that caliber of like where it plays though.
That Chandelier boss was a pain to fight though.
Oh yeah.
It was fun. Oh man, was annoying. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember at all where it plays. So, trying to really put more into like what purpose it serves It's a little hard. I want to say it's used for like when you're fighting all the shadows in World That Never Was.
I don't think so.
I want to say it is. But anyways, song's not all that bad. I like the weird accordion sound that they're using.
Accordion?
I'll see if it picks back up. That dun, 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 dun.
That?
No, not this. Go back like a little bit.
Yeah, this is like the loop.
Now it's playing it. It's in the background.
Yeah, I can hear that. That's a really weird use of an accordion.
I like it. It's very weird to like throw in that sound, but it fits.
So I like this song for two reasons. One, it's slightly Russian sounding.
Probably because of the accordion.
No, what?
Accordion.
I'm pretty sure the accordion has nothing to do with Russian music.
I want to say it does.
But as we talked about in a previous episode, like we both like the Russian sound. And then there's also like a stealth 6/8 feel to it. Like it doesn't really stick out too much unless you like listen to it, but it's in 6/8. Well, that's kind of it because like the loop is really short, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. The loop is really short, especially for a battle song.
But with that, even with that in mind, it's still like 6.5.
I give it a 7. 13th Dilemma. I think this is another boss theme for Organization 13.
Yeah.
But I think this is reserved for like certain bosses. I want to say Zigbar is one of them, Syax, and I think Xemnas.
I think you're right. That sounds about right.
Why are you elongating your right?
Because I'm like trying to simultaneously think about it.
Yeah. I mean, at least compared to the other song, it's not that great. it's all right at best, I would say. Like it has the organ sound. It has the makings of a Kingdom Hearts song. Like it has the classic piano sound to it. But I mean, personally, I just don't care for it.
I actually like this over the other one. And that's I think because of the usage of the like instruments and motifs. So it's not as motif heavy as the other one, but it also has like the Organization 13 main theme like thrown in. And then I believe it also still has like the Graceful Assassin Scythe the Petals sound.
I think it's kind of sad they didn't give each organization member their own like battle theme.
If it was made today, they definitely would have. But I think the song is a little more emotion heavy, only because there's like more at stake than usual. But like other than that, it's fine. I mean, it's good. So I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 6. It's really, I like the tuba. That's pretty much
Tuba?
why I gave it a decent score. Others, I'd probably give it a 4 or 5.
That's a hard carry then. Well, anyway, next song is
Probably your favorite.
probably my favorite song in the entire series, and that is Sacred Moon.
I'll let you guess your bit.
All right. So it's really dark and mysterious, like right out the gate. And I think this song like really insanely like hits the nail on the head with like the theme of The World That Never Was. I don't think it could be more fitting than like it actually is. Now, I think what definitely helps is like the setting. So it's like, you're in a pretty much like human town, like at night. It's like, New York or something. Like all the lights are on in all the buildings, like pitch black outside. And you got Kingdom Hearts off in the distance. like in the night sky, and then like the second half of the song kicks in, where like the piano, just everything just like comes together and like makes this like perfect little neat package. And it's like at the same time really like melancholic, but it also uplifting and like encouraging. It gives you like a hopeful, like hope for like an inspiration, like keep pushing forward. And yeah, the song's great. Here comes the destruction of my dream.
No, I actually like the song too. Um, I do want to say that the song has like a lot of layers to it, and pretty much starts off a little simple, and then just like adds more to it. And of course, you get to like the little, I want to say like maybe the end point where it starts to loop again, where it's just the chorus with a little bit of like the strings or the piano, and then it starts again. But it's also leaves a little bit of like a hollow feel to it. Like there, it feels like there's a little bit missing in the center, but works because you're in the nobody homeworld. It's a place that they're missing a piece of them inside.
Which just by that description alone is like already like completes the picture even further of what I was trying to say.
And it's kind of funny because the world that never was, at least the city that you're in, the city's alive. The city itself is a nobody.
Yeah, it's weird. And then you fight it.
Yeah. Like it's not a completely mechanized thing. It's like legitimately. So I want to say, so remember how I said like the way the nobodies and heartless dynamic is like the heartless is like what it is, and then the husk left behind is the nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say the dragon at the end of the game, that's the dragon that you fight the nobody of, or you fight the nobody of the dragon you fight in the Mulan level. Because they somehow corrupted a dragon. The dragons are supposed to be very powerful beings in at least Chinese mythology. Like they're supposed to be benevolent, like not like Eastern or not like Western dragons, where Western dragons are like all evil and sinister and they want to just like devour people. Like they were actually like revered.
Yeah.
So the fact they got one to turn into a heartless, that means a powerful being like that must have left behind a nobody.
And it did. Possibly.
Possibly. This is not confirmed. This is more of a high guesstimation that is very plausible. Now, how they happen to get a city to be a heartless, I'm assuming is just a world that
never was.
Well, no, I think the world was a thing. It's must have been a world with powerful beings. Honestly, I would feel like it was if Hollow Bastion was the one that was taken over, it would have been that because you have a lot of powerful characters from there. Or maybe it could have been the world where Cloud's from, because I mean he's not technically from Hollow Bastion or Radiant Guardian. I mean you can technically use any like Final Fantasy lore character, because Hollow Bastion's kind of like their world, but you kind of have like mixed mash of characters in other worlds.
Aren't they all just refugees though?
Depends on which game, because in Traverse Town, all the Final Fantasy characters were refugees.
But then into...
And then they went back to Hollow Bastion, because that's where they're from.
Oh, I did not even know that.
Yeah, that's why Squall changes his name to Leon, because he... at the end of where Hollow Bastion starts to get overrun with Heartless and gets taken over, he personally felt like he didn't save enough people, or like he didn't help enough, so he wanted to start a new identity.
I remember that part, but I just, for whatever reason, I don't remember them being part or from Hollow Bastion.
Yeah, a majority of Final Fantasy characters are from Hollow Bastion. This leaves out characters like Tifa, Cloud, Sephiroth, Selphie, Waka, and Tidus, which is weird because you have Selphie, who's part of the same game as Squall, but they're like not from the same world.
And to throw on top of that fact, you have Titus and Waka, both kids. And then you have Riku and Pain as like pixies.
Yeah, that was weird.
Whatever that was. Yeah.
I completely forgot about them as characters in that game.
They were so irrelevant. They just showed up for like 2 scenes in the whole game.
They show up and they're part of the Gull Wings, and that's it. Yeah, back to the song at hand. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Easy 10 for 10.
I don't know about that one.
Easy 10 for 10.
Don't know about that one.
Considering you gave already out like 2 10s.
I gave out 1, I think.
But that's the whole point of this podcast. Everything is subjective, except for your taste.
Yeah, your taste sucks. All right, now we got Deep Dive.
Drive.
Deep drive.
As in vroom vroom.
No, this one is actually the battle theme for when you're in
The World That Never Was.
World. Yeah, World Never Was. Oh, dude, I love fighting there.
So, I want to say this. I do like the song. I think it's actually a pretty good song. Although I really wish that they went the Servants of the Mountain route. Where instead of, like Sacred Moon is playing and then battle happens and then Deep Drive plays, I think they should have made it like Sacred Moon just play it throughout the entire thing.
I personally don't think they should have done that. I think Deep Drive is good enough for a song to fit in. Because, I mean, it's a really crazy song. It's like, it's got the energy, like the energetic undertone, and then it has like the piano kick in more on the high part, and it still adds more energy to it.
So like I said, I don't think it's a bad song. I just personally think for like emotional impact, they should have left the song like continuous.
Well, you're wrong.
No, you. I mean, it's cool. I like the emotional piano chords. I don't really like anything else about it. It actually sounded way worse than I meant it to. Like the chords the most. And then the rest is just okay.
I like the whole thing. It's not bad.
I give it a 6.5.
I give it a 7. Now we're going to go for like the weakest theme in the entire game. I don't know about series, but definitely the game.
I think Sora's is slightly worse.
I don't remember his theme.
But
nobody picked it.
We're on Riku's theme, which is just called Riku. And
yeah, everybody's most beloved like edgelord character whose height doesn't seem to stay the same.
So this is a really weird, sad song made for a character who makes his life sad.
He makes his own problems.
Exactly.
And nobody solves them for him. Which is kind of funny because that's like the series is like everybody stands or sims for Riku.
Including you.
I don't sim for him.
Yeah, you do.
Not really. I kind of grew out of it.
Okay, so you used to.
I used to. I thought he was a cool character. I would have liked to play him as a character in any of the earlier games. But I definitely got over like his like depressing moments that he had.
So the song itself is really like sad and lonely, like he forces on himself. So it completely fits his character for sure. But his arc overall is just kind of laughable because everything he does, or like
it's his fault.
Yeah, every problem he has, he caused himself.
It's like in the first game, he wants to get off the island, so his like darkness invites. I want to say this is what it is. Like his darkness invites the Heartless over, and thus nearly kills Kairi, and then causes Sora to inherit the Keyblade because Riku is too dark to take it.
And then he gets mad.
Then he's mad because Sora isn't helping Kairi, even though he technically is. Because he's like holding her heart, which is a weird thought process for it. Then becomes the major, like, one of the major bad guys. And then literally accomplishes nothing except sacrificing himself at the end of the game to then just be locked behind the door of darkness. Fights Ansem's Heartless because he needs more power, so he figures, oh well, I'll take more dark power. That'll solve my problem. Then he becomes Ansem physically,
which is really, really weird when you read into it.
Yeah, like it just doesn't make sense. So in beating Ansem, he takes his power, but becomes Ansem. Oh, and then he does that stupid blindfold thing where he doesn't want to see the world because he's too dark. Like, I'm all for edginess. Like, I like edgy characters, but dude, like that's cutting me. That's cutting me. That's how edgy it is.
And not to mention, like, the whole thing throughout, like, the ending of Kingdom Hearts 1 and then, like, through most of 2, it's like
he was fine in 3. He was completely fine in 3. Sora was the depressing one in 3, but Riku somehow became a much better written character.
Riku's whole, like, story, like, at the end of 1 all the way through 2 can be broken down into
I'm sad.
Sora saying to him, Riku, please come back. I'm your friend. We're your friends. And then the whole time Riku's like, I have no friends. Nobody loves me.
Nobody wants me. I don't understand why. And everybody, it's like the Sasuke treatment.
Yeah. He is actually just Sasuke.
He's the progenitor to Sasuke. Which I think even Sasuke was written better, if I'm being honest.
But Riku got better when he obtained his car key.
Yeah, his key to his Prius. Which is sad. I liked his original Keyblade.
Yeah, didn't it break or something?
Yeah, he broke it in 3. I think from fighting Aqua? Fighting a character? But, yeah, then he got a new outfit along with a new Keyblade.
Outfits, whatever. Keyblade as a car key.
Yeah, which for whatever reason, plaid seems to be what keeps you from being enshrouded by darkness. Or plaid patterns.
Ska.
Yeah, it fits for the character. At least for the song itself, I don't really care for it. I gave it a 6.
Wouldn't that make more sense if it was a 5?
I like the piano.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I also gave it a 6. Like, it's actually good for what it is, but it's still just, yeah. The song is whatever, like, overall kind of whatever. But man, it just made me realize how dumb Riku's arc is.
It's a really bad arc. Even Kairi has a better arc than him.
And like 90% of it is just her being a damsel in distress.
Dude, I was so hyped for her to be like a fighter, and then in 3 they just threw under the bus. Like, no, that was like prime. That was like she could have had like some meat in her story. Like, oh, she's gonna fight. She was practicing with Axel,
And then she died.
and then then she dies. But then she doesn't die, and then Sora dies. I think.
Probably.
We don't know. We're still not clear on that. All right. So, anyways, next song we're gonna get into. Oh, I didn't rate this one either. It's Disappeared. This is Xehanort's boss fight, right?
Xemnas.
Same character.
Yeah. But it's still just Xemnas.
Is it like the first fight when you fight him alone, or is it the first fight when you fight him
alone? I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I want to say it's better than the second theme for Organization 13. And kind of at the same time, it's like still worse than the first one. I still felt like the first one was much better. But it's sinister, like it matches the character himself.
I think I would actually have to agree with what you just said. It's like it's a completely new theme. Like there's nothing, or it's all original.
Yeah, it doesn't relate to the Organization 13 or to any of the nobodies. It's just completely new theme for him.
Like it is dramatic. It's got Yoko's like march sounds, which she does a lot. And like when the song actually kicks in melodically, it actually sounds more like it was written by Motoi Sakuraba. But I mean, overall, like there's not really much to it. The like kind of farty brass is kind of on the annoying side, but the jazz piano is cool. Even though it's like buried, piano's cool.
Yeah,
Like, regular
piano's
piano
cool.
chords are cool.
Okay, there's no bad piano song in a Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good qualifier. It is what it is. I'd give it a 6.5.
I'd probably just give it a 6. Actually, no, I'll give it a 5. Now, to a much better song.
Arguably my tied for first song. So this is definitely my favorite battle theme in the whole series. And like it's all over the place in terms of like melody and sound or style. I forgot to look it up, but you know what I'm going to talk about. So there's an old game called Beat Mania. And I don't remember what it was called, but there is a song on that game that sounds so much like this one, like on the main theme.
It's the one you ended up downloading, right?
Yeah, it was like Resonate 1794, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's Resonance.
Resonance.
Yeah, it's like Resonance.
I believe that the 1794 is right.
Yeah, 1794 is right. I think it's Resonance.
It's either Resonate or Resonance, but if you can, I'll see if I can find that on YouTube and link it. That's our first link.
There's not very. I mean, we've been just talking down about Kingdom Hearts 3. There's really not much.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find that song and link it. But like, listen to the main like melody, and you'll be able to hear it. But aside from that, yeah, this is easily my favorite battle theme. It's extremely hyper, like energetic, without sounding happy. And it's like the first half of the song is foreboding, and it's like constantly rising in action. And then like when the supposed, like drop hits, like where it changes sound, that's where like the emotional impact comes through. It just like hits you like a truck. Like those chord combinations of like falling melodies it's just like perfection.
Yeah, okay, so for this song, there's not many loops to it. Like it's a very long song. Like I wouldn't say it's constantly changing. It just has the same melody throughout, but just adds different instruments to it to affect the song itself. But
it's got the same backbone.
Yeah, it's got the backbone is there, but like the meat is like ever changing. Like they're adding different flavors for it. And I mean, it's fitting. It's literally the final boss music of the game.
No, it is not.
It's not?
It's when you're fighting the town.
You're right. No, it's also used for Xemnas, isn't it?
That's the next song.
Yeah. I mean, at least within the gauntlets of boss battles that you're doing, it's like every song just only gets better. It's like the first one was like, all right. And then you got the second one. It's much better. It's like the biggest step up you could do.
Yeah, if you listen to the piano on the first half, Like when it's just doing these like crazy fast arpeggios. I can't even imagine playing that fast and that clean. And that's done on a grand piano. So like no MIDI.
It's called being good.
Yeah. That's something I'm not.
That sucks.
Eventually though.
Who are you kidding?
All right.
I'm just messing with you.
But song, easy 10.
I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Still great. So this song is actually broken down into 2 sections. So this is Darkness of the Unknown.
Which is a really good song.
So the first time you hear it is when you go into the like shooter part of the fight, where
Yeah,
like
where
on the
you're riding
hoverboards.
Yeah, you're riding that like motorcycle with a weird thing on the side.
Yeah, that's the first time like the song plays, and then it just continues into the Xemnas fight. But as far as this song goes, like it's the actual final battle theme. And like I don't think it's as good as the previous one,
Oh, dude, I think it's better.
but it's still extremely impressive and like solid. Cuz like it's constantly building, and then there's more moments to it. But it just comes down to taste.
Like, it literally just changes along with every phase of the fight. Like, depending on like how you want to take it. Like, you have the dragon part. You have when you're fighting Xemnas when he's in that like knight's armor, and then you have like when he's wearing his like weird robes. Like, it's just I take it as an all inclusive package.
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, like it fits 3 different fights technically. So I would normally complain like, oh, this doesn't have enough music to it. But like, no, this song, like, it's not like the same song throughout the entire, well, it is the same song throughout the entire thing, but it's not, you're not bored with it is what I'm trying to say. Like it's like constantly fresh and fitting for each fight.
Yep, hard agree. No, yeah, because the song is long, it makes sense because you have to stretch it across 3 different fights. And it's just thrown together as in like one continuous medley.
And of course, it has the perfect combination of piano and violin. And I want to say there's an organ part that happens a little bit later on that replaces the piano.
It's played as like straight organ and not anything like crazy melodically. You're talking about that in the background right now.
No, it's a different organ. I want to say.
And then yeah, that one's just played straight, which is still fine. But I think this song is great for multiple reasons, as Eric previously stated. But I think one of the biggest ones is that, like, you know, after pretty much 2 full games, Riku finally joins you. And it's like, you know, the power of friendship. We got to take down the big bad.
Yeah, of course. But when you're playing as Riku, it sucks because he has like two abilities, shield and blast.
Yep.
But I mean, at least for the fight itself, it's entirely great.
It's crazy. Like, as long as the song is and like how many parts there are, there's not a lot I can like really break it down to and like talk about. Because like I think it's too big of an overall package, and you just have to like kind of think about like the fights that they take place in.
Yeah, you would have to take it individually per part. It's like, at least the way the video is of it, it's just too hard to really get into the meat of it. There's too much meat. Meat's too big.
Also, as a note, like,
Oh, I love this part.
I don't remember. This is the first change that we're just got to.
Yeah.
Like, I have it written down. Like, at some point, some parts remind me of Dot Hack, apparently.
Is this really the first change? I thought this is where you go into the white room. Man, I really want to play this game again.
And you can
I know I can.
when you finish Cold Steel 4.
I got rating back. All right. Is that like a quarter of the game done?
Probably spoilers for anybody that hasn't played it through yet. I think that's probably like closer to an eighth.
Oh God.
Like I said, you are really lagging it.
I know. I mean, at least it's not like a year behind.
Just 6 months. All right. With that said, like the song is too long to like really break down without going just for like an hour.
Yeah, you can pretty much make an episode out of this song alone.
But I'd give it a 9.
I give it a 10.
There's only 3 songs left.
And I ain't pronouncing this one or spelling it. I refuse to.
All right. I'm going to try Fantasia alla Marcia, it's just the ending theme for Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm going to say immediately, there are certain parts of this song that make me tear up pretty hard. And it's definitely a combination of like motifing and then like, the journey to get here at this point.
And there's a lot of motifs. It like pretty much borrows, or it has motifs for almost every world or every important moment.
Not really.
I mean, Kairi's theme is one of them in there.
Is it?
Pretty sure it is.
Well, so we'll do like a live breakdown if we can.
I mean, it's kind of have to because
there's a lot of parts.
Changes.
So the first part, I don't think is really like motif on anything.
It's more Disney-like.
The second part, where it turns into like Final Fantasy's main theme, not the interlude, or not interlude. Is it interlude?
Prelude?
That. So Final Fantasy main theme, not the prelude that everybody knows. It sounds a lot like that. And remember when I was saying like, I felt like she was ripping off that in Xenoblade?
Yeah.
I think this is where it's done a lot better.
I guess I could see it. I mean, she also has like a bigger budget with Square Enix versus Monolith.
Yeah. And then it transitions into a leitmotif on Dearly Beloved without actually playing the melody. It's just the harmony. And that's like the big teaser for what's to come.
And this Kairi's theme?
Nope. Still Dearly Beloved. All the Dearly Beloved parts hit me so hard. It's like something we talked about earlier with the whole like, chords or chordal melodies. Ugh, it just hits so hard. And then now we're moving on to the Destati part, which is another really sick part. I wish they used Destati more.
I kind of wish they did too, but at the same time, I feel like they won't.
And what is this?
I mean, clearly they won't because they haven't been using it as much already.
And now there's like a interlude and changing into Graceful Assassin.
Which is weird. They always use the motif for it when it's not even in the main series games. It's just in the side story.
I don't know, but I love it. And this is the Dearly Beloved part that just destroys me. I'm scratching my nose.
It's okay, buddy.
I know the second I move my hand, your head just snapped over.
I have ADD. Every time I see movement on the corner of my eyes, I have to turn to it.
And then like a grand finale with the Dearly Beloved part. And it reprises back into the like Final Fantasy main theme sound.
And then back into Kingdom Hearts theme.
Pretty sure there's still more. Yeah. So this is the part I was talking about. Wait, I think that's the actual same melody. as the Final Fantasy main theme at first.
I think that was still Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, it is. I'm just saying that the melody is.
Reminiscent of.
This is definitely one of my favorite songs.
Well, I did give it a 10.
Me too. This is how you do an epilogue.
By having everything proceeding before it just be kind of a medley of very important songs.
Exactly. It's like medleys are kind of like a cheat code for just making a song cool. It almost sounded like what is it called? Oh my god. Our national anthem.
So what?
Our national anthem. Like that last part sounded like the "and the home of the brave."
I didn't really hear it.
You big dumb brain.
You say pig dumb brain?
Big.
You big poopy head.
And then we have the dearly beloved reprise version.
Which I like and also dislike the fact that they force you to just sit there at this screen.
I feel like that's kind of the charm in retrospect. So this song is literally the original Dearly Beloved theme, or not the original, the Dearly Beloved theme in the opening of like the credits, but they just removed every other instrument that's not piano.
Which is good. I like the piano version.
And this song is infinitely sadder than that version. Because like it's hollow and empty, just like you after beating the game and you have nothing to do except reset your console.
And then do it all over again.
But this is one of those songs where I honestly don't find Dearly Beloved like all that sad or emotional. But this is what does it because of that whole like, end of the journey phenomenon.
Yeah, I feel like this is probably like the most fitting end of journey game or end of journey song because this game is a huge emotional roller coaster. This is a kid's game.
More or less.
I mean, not anymore. It's much more for like the older audience at this point.
But it's for the people that grew up playing it as a kid.
Yeah, like I would say it's like even people that didn't grow up playing it, if they were to just try to get into it, they just probably wouldn't enjoy it as much or appreciate it as much. Because, I mean, they weren't there from the initial point of the journey. They didn't wait nearly a decade for a sequel that fell flat.
And more things to talk about. But we won't because you might... How many shots did you consume? That's the question.
That's assuming you actually partook into it.
Yeah, like this, this song actually reminds me of Tazanarkand. Like, same thing, like, I like Tazanarkand a lot, but I don't find it, like, really sad or emotional. But after beating 10, and it's the same thing where you get stuck on the final screen and then just Tazanarkand is playing. That's where it gets me.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
So I'd give that, because of the theming, a 9 of 10.
I give it a 9 out of 10 also.
And then the final song...
Which is...
cheating.
It's just the best song in the game.
It's cheating. It's not actually
cheating.
Part of 2.
It's part of 2.
No, it's not.
It's at the end of the game.
Only a final mix version. It's not in the original version.
Is it cheating?
Yes. But I'm going to allow it because variety was really hard to find in this game soundtrack.
I'm pretty sure we had it in 2.
No, it was not in the original 2. It was only in final mix.
All right. Anyways.
Fate of the Unknown.
And it's funny because this song isn't like a regular song. This song is tailor-made for the secret ending of this game. Like everything that happens is like a moment-to-moment change.
So for a little bit of context, if you've seen the original like secret ending, it was just the three new people walking up to the Keyblade graveyard, and that was it. That's all the context you got. And then after they decided to go further into it and then not remake, but like re-release Final Mix, they included like the full trailer for Birth by Sleep, which is what this song is for.
Which I wish the game had like a full actual release instead of a PSP release.
Well, I mean, it's on PS4 now.
The full game?
Yeah, it's on the...
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, this is Terra's theme. Like this part right here.
This is the part where Ventus gets like frozen, I think.
Not yet. It's when the... Now.
Oh, yeah. Where everybody assumed Roxas died. I saw the trailer. Oh my god, Roxas died. Roxas can't be dead. He's part of Sora.
But then there's Ventus, and there's Vanitas, and there's Drake Bell.
Wait, what? What about Drake Bell?
I was just making a dumb joke from the, like, Union Cross, like, era story. He was the person that's not Xehanort.
What?
So you know the two people at the beginning of 3 playing chess?
Yeah.
He's the one that's not Xehanort.
That's Drake Bell?
Yeah.
I thought that was, I heard it was, Mark Hamill.
No, he's Xehanort.
Mark Hamill's Xehanort?
Yeah.
I thought it was, Master whatever his face is.
Same person. Oh, wait, no, you're right. No, it's the young version of, what's his face?
The Master?
Yeah. The young version. The kid version.
Ah. That's weird.
It's also weird he shares the same name with the green dragon.
All right, now I'm confused about that one.
Iranicus.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that name.
Anyways, to the actual song. Way before I knew anything about Birth by Sleep, this was definitely one of the standouts that I randomly came across on YouTube.
I think everybody came across that at one point on YouTube.
Because like we never got Final Mix because Japan hates not Japan.
Well, I would say they just didn't want to localize it.
Hate.
I just don't think they understand, or at this point in time, they didn't understand how much people really like the series.
But I think this song is like kind of the epitome of writing, like Kingdom Hearts writing, like song wise.
It's just orchestrated really well. Like there
are so many layers that just like add on top of each other, and like it's constantly like a roller coaster of like add, subtract, add, subtract, add, subtract, and like that's that's obviously just like a good sign of writing, or a sign of good writing.
It's like writing that you would put into like a movie score.
Exactly.
But in this for this game's sake, it's for a game trailer, which is probably still one of my favorite trailers to see.
It is pretty sick. But yeah, this song is made up of 2 themes, Terra and Aqua. And the part where Ventus is just like, falling down the cliff frozen is when Aqua's theme plays.
So this is Aqua's theme?
Yeah. And then Ventus'
Aqua's
theme
best girl in Kingdom Hearts, just saying.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah, song 10 of 10, easy.
No, it's 11 out of 10.
Okay, whatever. 100%, 110%, whatever you want it to be.
It doesn't matter. It's 11. It's a number that exceeds the limit.
Now, we actually didn't have personal songs because
This entire thing is practically a personal song.
I mean, not that, but we just kind of forgot because there's a lot of last second stuff going on. And I just like when I realized it, I just figured don't even bother.
Yeah, just a lot of IRL stuff going on that caused plenty of delays.
But for the next episode, this is going to be a little bit different, and I'm kind of scared to see how you're going to rate it. But we'll be doing Diablo 2.
Okay. I wasn't expecting Diablo.
Me neither.
My name is Deckard Cain. Herodrum.
Yeah.
You must stick it inside the Herodric cube, and you can make new things with it.
Despite Eric memeing on Deckard Cain right now.
Or dead Kurt Cain.
Now, if we're talking crap about Kingdom Hearts 3, the door has been swung open for Diablo 3.
You know what? I actually like Diablo 3.
I don't.
I know you don't. That's because you love Diablo 2.
Yeah, but what I was going to go with that is, yeah, Eric and I played it a long time ago, extremely sporadically, so I doubt he remembers any song that's not Tristram.
I remember some various songs, but I won't know them by name or where they're from.
So that'll be an interesting experience.
Yeah, I actually look forward to this. It's definitely something I would probably remember if I heard it, but would like to definitely replay it. I would like to replay the Diablo games. Maybe not the first one.
What is it called?
Reforged or...
It's not Reforged. It's something similar.
Remade? Remastered?
Pretty much. It's Diablo 2 remastered.
Which I look forward to. Supposedly it's really, really faithful compared to the travesty, which was Warcraft 3 Reforged. Which I'm glad I didn't buy, but I want to play the game so badly.
And even if you own it, you can't play it anyway.
Yeah, you can. You can play it. You can't just play it on... You can't play how you wanted to play it online.
I meant the original.
What do you mean?
They invalidated all those clients.
No, they updated the client to be the Reforged client.
That's what I'm saying. If you wanted to play the original, you can't.
You can play you still can play the games. You can play the story and everything.
All right, that's gonna go way too tangential. So we'll just end it for now.
Yeah, we'll end it. We'll see you on the next episode with Diablo 2
and personal songs again.
Yeah,
because there's only like 17 songs, I think.
Really?
Yeah,
that's short. All right, so we'll see you guys on the next episode. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe button. I almost hit like, follow, and subscribe. But
wrong platform.
That's wrong platform completely. But yeah, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I'm actually not sure of the stats on our videos, since you're the one that actually has all the login info for it.
They're very barren right now.
Anyways, we'll hopefully see more comments and whatnot. But let us know how we do, if any changes you would like to see, or any suggestions, or even song recommendations for games. We'll be more than happy to take a look into that.
What he said. So, we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.